Jimbo's on his way. David, how you doing, man?
Hey,
how you doing, man? How you doing?
Hey,
You're doing fine. That's
Spice man. How you doing? Everything nice,
Listen, everybody. Hey, listen, everybody. While we're on camera, introduce to everybody. Tell your name, so what you sing, what's going on, and what group are you, please?
We are different shades of brown. Back in the 60s, that's who we are, and here we are today.
The 70s got a little bit.
But we did start in the 60s.
We started in the 60s. I don't know where
So what's everybody's name? We'll start starting right here and going this way. What's everybody's name?
My name is Hershall Scott. I was a road manager and the choreographer.
Yeah, and I'm Ron Logan. Hey man, one of the founders of the group.
And mine's Steve Warfield.
Yeah.
The baritone.
Yeah, there's Stevie Wonder. We call him Stevie Wonder.
Marvin Sutton, the Sex Machine.
Hey guys, you know, man, we're excited to have y'all here, man, and everything. I'll make sure everybody's phone is cut off, please. Yes. You know, like that, because you're on real time, and this is my studio.
Okay,
we're gonna make it happen.
Okay, we're gonna make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen. So
Thank you
come
for
on back.
inviting us.
Come on back. Come on back. We're gonna show you a little bit of history about DATV. You know, so right here is some of our awards called the Final Awards. That's like the Emmys and Grammys of the awards that we won. The Funk Chronicles that you're gonna come on today is one of the top shows at DATV and the 3-state region, and we won a lot of awards for that.
Okay.
The Funk Chronicles, I was able to produce the show, stuff like that. So we're going all the way back to the control room, and look, you can see some of the awards on the walls and stuff like that, right?
Right. All right.
So, yes, and see, so they have different where you can make recordings, podcasts, different things that you see right here.
All right.
So yes. Okay, so we're going back and you see some of the rooms where we cut and mix and edit and different things right over here. So is the other brother coming?
He got sick.
Okay, well we'll go what we got now then. Okay, all righty then. So we're gonna go in the control room. I'll show you a little bit of the control room. Make sure we got everybody in here. We might do some changes. Let's go in the control room here. Yeah, everybody. This is our control room.
Okay, let the older fellas go in. The young guy comes in last.
Okay, this is our control
Let the older
room.
fellas come in. Let the young guy come in.
This makes it happen on our television show, makes it happen and stuff like that. We're gonna do some changes and stuff like since Herschel's here, we put him on the stage so we don't so it'd be all y'all on stage with Ryan. I think that'd be great, okay?
Okay.
So all right, so now like I said, let's go in the dressing room. You get a chance to meet Ryan, our former mayor, Rhine McLin.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to her a couple.
Right, and there's some water, some snack. And there's Ryan in. Come on in, introduce everybody.
So like, this is Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll go get my mask. I enjoy talking with you.
Yes.
What a blessing. God bless you.
Come on in.
Lola Massey.
Lola Massey, yes.
Called me today
Did
to
she?
make sure that I treat you well and do a good interview.
Oh, no, you know Lola Massey.
And she wanted to let me know that you were her guy and to look out for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I will shake hands.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Ryan McLin.
I'm Marvin Sutton.
How do you do? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Steve Warfield.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Warfields. There's a lot of Warfields that were in the Wilberforce area.
In the what?
Wilberforce area.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. And you are?
Hershall Scott.
How do you do?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
It
Nice
is
seeing
my
you.
pleasure.
Nice seeing you again.
And I like your hat.
No,
you
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
my brother-in-law, used to work for you, Ram.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
Okay.
Can I have a water, please?
You may have,
I would
yes,
like to
you can
have
have
one,
water, you can have chips, you can have cookies, you can have apples. That's all for you.
I think I got
Okay,
some
great.
mask out there. You want? I can go get some
No,
mask for us.
no,
You sure?
because you all will be in a distance from me anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
I'm just being precautious.
We want to be
We
cautious.
So,
understand.
see, you know what? Because of you guys being the shades of brown, I wore a dress that had shades
Oh,
of
yeah.
brown.
Oh.
And you all are barely brown in it. Okay.
Looks good.
Oh, wonderful,
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
I was thinking, I said shades of brown. All right. This is
what
so
we call
excited.
ourselves before we came to the Shades of Brown? We didn't have no name at all.
I don't think we did.
Different is that we're the different shades of brown.
Yeah,
There is a group called the Shades of
Yeah,
Brown.
we're the different shades.
We're the different shades of brown, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think, what other name we had? We had
I
some
don't think we
crazy
ever had
names.
none.
The
Yeah.
different shades of brown, and so see, and you know, one of the things, one of your songs, that
Trent
was,
Smith had a little name.
let me.
No,
Hearts and
I
Flowers.
don't remember
no,
no
not
name.
Hearts
but
and
Trent-
Flowers.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
just-
But I,
Hearts
oh,
with
oh, yeah.
Label Be Love.
Yeah,
And then, you know, what's interesting, when you Google this,
yeah,
the Jackson 5,
The
Yeah.
Jackson
and
Five.
you come up with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
with the song.
We did it before the Jackson Five.
Yeah, well, see, they
Did
got
you
the
all
song.
write it?
They got the
No,
song.
No,
Clay,
it's
Clay
Motown.
did.
It's a
Motown did
Motown
it. They
song.
gave it to us, and then when I left the group, that's when they gave it to
Michael.
Michael.
Right.
But when you hear Michael sing it, that's our background. It says Jackson 5, but
Yeah.
but it's Michael singing, and we back Michael.
I sort of like our introduction. That I like the intro.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah, get over there, way over there. Okay.
featuring the different shades.
All right, gentlemen, come on.
Speaking of getting old, man, I tell you.
Okay, Hershall, you right here. Ron, you're right here. You're right here.
I know it's last.
Right.
Sorry, I'm calling.
Right here. You're gonna be in the middle, Ron. Ron, you're gonna be in the middle. You're gonna be in the middle, Ron. You're gonna be in the middle.
Did you have something planned?
Yeah, because the other guy, he didn't show up. He didn't show up.
Yesterday shouldn't have played.
Is that okay? What you doing? You do pretty
Well,
No.
I think I'd rather talk to them.
Okay, all right. So we just do that.
Yeah.
She rather talk to them.
Where are you gonna stay?
Okay, she's gonna be right here.
To make the introduction, go off screen.
Go off screen right here, and you,
Okay,
yeah.
because the reason why I'd rather talk to them
Yeah.
is that if I'm in the middle, I'm gonna be turning my head this way, that way.
Okay, sure.
Therefore, I would rather just talk to them and just talk to them.
Sure, let's do
That's
that.
what I want.
That's great.
So you did Nate August back.
So
Yeah.
she has one of them, let me
Yeah, he
move
was
it.
one of the different shades.
Yeah.
You know,
With them two
Yeah.
artificial
I was
hips.
I was gonna look in my phone to find Nate. One day in, Zeke's pharmacy, Nate was in there, and he just broke out singing to me.
Oh, yeah, that's Nate.
That's Nate.
Yeah.
That's Nate.
So I have this picture of Nate singing, and he had a hat, something like that you had on.
But it was cocktail sack.
Yes, it was. And he broke out in
Yeah,
Zeke
yeah.
and started singing.
Oh, his singing brother.
Yes, yes.
You good?
Hello.
But you call me your sugar and spice man. Everything nice man.
50 years in this
I'm just trying. Yeah.
Look at that fella right there. Don't Thomas Fisher.
I know you gonna dig this.
This is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles, recorded live here at DATV Studios in Dayton, Ohio. Now, let's welcome our guests, the Different Shades of Brown. They are one of the few Southwest Ohio groups out of Springfield, Ohio, that recorded for Motown Records. The group was formed in 1968 by 4 high school students, Ron Logan, Nate Newsome, Stephen Warfield, and Marvin Sutton. Now, the group started out performing local clubs, including some Battle of the Groups, events which they seem to have usually won, eventually reaching up to Detroit. In 1971, the group's show at Detroit's 20 Grand Club was caught by producer Clay McMurray, who got them a contract with Motown. The group recorded their first and second 45s with Ron Logan singing lead. The 45s were released on Tamla Records, a subsidiary of Motown Records. Welcome and thank you for agreeing to come on our show. This is a reunion tour. Thank you. Let us begin the interview. Gentlemen, this is such a pleasure to have you here. It's so exciting. And I just want to name off everyone at first. And so then I'm going to come back. Then we have Hershall. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name is Hershall Scott. I was the manager and the choreographer for the group. And we had a great time. And it was a great experience. Lasted for a while. But we went our separate ways. But we still stayed close contact, and all these years that we've been. This was in late 1960s and early '71. So it was great to be back with the guys and see them again.
Ronald.
Yes, ma'am. He's still dancing at his age, and so I want to applaud him because he still can move.
That's pretty good.
Isn't that pretty good?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he was a real good dancer. Hershall was so good that by the time we went to Motown, there was a guy named Charlie Atkins, and everybody had to go through Charlie Atkins before you could be released. And we didn't have to go through Charlie Atkins because we had a Hershall Scott who taught us choreography. He was a pretty good dancer. I give him credit for that.
Well, I understand that we're going to see Hershall do a few steps for us.
Oh,
before
wonderful.
It's all
Yeah.
over.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and then we got Jimbo.
Yeah, I guess we do. Oh, yes. Well, I've known Ronald for a long time, and when we got out the service, we kind of got together at the YMCA and started singing. We practiced a little bit. Jimmy Foster messed around here, helped us with our voices and our lyrics and things like that. And then we found Stevie, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was Steve. Or did Trent come in first?
Trent.
Yeah, Trent Smith.
Yeah, Lord. Stevie and Trent came in.
Was Trent still alive?
No.
Then from there we got Nate Newsome. He was still in the service, so when he got out, we added him to the group. And June came in after I left, and he took my place. So that was pretty much the gist of the Different Shades of Brown, but we all sang together.
And then there's Marvin.
Yeah, as
He wants to consider himself the baby of the group. Go ahead.
I am definitely the baby of the group.
You're the youngest?
I am the youngest. I know me and him go back, me and Ron go back and forth on that. But I actually came when Jimbo went off and did some things, got married, moved to California, and they came got me. I was singing with another group at the time, and was able to come in and got with them just in time because we had some engagements to do.
Yeah.
I think we did Bowling Green College and a few other things, and the rest is history. Me and Stevie grew up together. We all grew up in the same neighborhood, and Stevie used to come to my grandmother's house, and my older brother mentored us and got us going and sing because he was always in groups. So it's been a long road, but we're still here.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
You know, the other thing is that I think I learned that you all went to Fulton Elementary School.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think all of us went to Fulton. Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
sure did.
Everybody.
So that's a commonality. And, and so,
although Ronald was there about 6 years before us.
I think Hershall was there about 2 years before we got there.
Hershall was there.
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, I probably was gone by the time y'all. I was in Kiefer.
Lord, that's
that's funny. Yeah.
Steve.
Yes, my name's Stephen Warfield, and well, I got with the Different Shades of Brown when they was in the service, and they got out of the service, and me and Trent Smith was doing a James Brown kind of thing, and so me, Jimbo, and Ron, we would back him up, and we went to the Ebony Club, and
Here in Dayton?
yes.
Oh.
And we didn't have no steps or nothing, and Trent was doing this James Brown thing, and so we was, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We were backing Trent up, and what's his name, Maceo.
Yeah, I remember forget Maceo. Yeah.
Maceo said y'all need some horns. And so but that's how we started. Me and Marvin started as kids, and we all knew each other from singing around. So that's how we basically started.
You know, one of the things that's so exciting about your group, as we were having the opportunity to just chit-chat a little bit about growing up and singing on the street corners and singing, and so I was just so excited about giving me a sample of street corner singing, which leads to the group, and so we'll let Hershall pat his foot to be a part of what would be your choreography.
Right.
And as you will sing your song that you were going to do for me. And I just think this is a perfect time to do that.
Wow.
And since we're reminiscing from elementary school to high school and early on, that street corner singing was really paramount to Shades of Brown.
And a song that everybody did was
What's your name?
Let's
You
do
remember
it.
that one?
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name?
Is it Mary or Sue? What's your name? Do I stand a chance with you? It's so hard to find a personality with charm like yours for me. Ooh-wee.
That's the first time we've sung together in 50 years. That's the first song ever. I parted in 1972. 50 years, we never sing nothing. But all of us started on the street corner. The OJs started on the street corner, the Spinners. Everybody we ran across talked about street corner singers, the Drifters, the Mad Lads, the Tams, some other groups that we saw, the Whispers, we loved them.
Yeah, the Manhattans.
Manhattan, right on.
Yeah, and you're moving me fast forward, but we can go there. That after you had signed with Motown, and you started traveling a lot with the recording legends, and you did with Kool and Gang, and who else?
The Dales, Jerry Butler.
The
Delphonics, the Whispers.
The OJs.
The Intruders.
Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Right.
Yeah.
The Barcades.
The Five Steps.
Yeah, coming the Five
The
Stair
originals.
Steps.
The originals.
Ooh, wow, the Dramatics.
Dramatics.
Yeah, a lot of
Dramatics was there when we went to the 20 Grand, and we were singing some dramatic songs. And with songs that Wade did.
What you get,
and they was checking us out. And the next time I saw the Dramatics, they were using our steps that Hershall taught us on their songs.
And you all did Edwin Starr. You all was with Edwin Starr, and of course the legendary David Ruffin.
Yeah, David Ruffin. Right on.
Yeah. I mean, for your group, Shades of Brown, to be able to have had that experience with such a variety of what we would call musical icons of Motown. And you all were just very young at that time, very impressionable.
Well, we were in the studios with Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell.
we got a chance
a
to
lot
meet
of them,
Marvin.
was,
GC
yeah.
GC
We just walked into the studio
Tamla.
and they were there and gave us a lot of pointers.
Sure did.
A lot
Well,
of things about, you know, that
We actually,
yeah.
Stevie Wonder actually came down to
Yeah, they
one
came
of
to
our
our
recording
studio.
sessions, bought a cooler beer,
Yeah, he
and
did.
sat and talked to us for
For a long time.
couple hours.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yes.
Well, that was the personal side of these known icons, musical icons.
Marvin Gaye the same way.
And so you had the song "Label Me Love," and I looked it up when we were talking about "Label Me Love," and then I realized not only did you all sing it, so did the Jackson 5, and you told me a story about that.
Yeah, the Jackson 5, we did it first. And a lot of songs that came from Motown, a lot of different acts would do the same song,
thing, right.
and they
I
would
heard it
use
from the
the
grapevine,
same Funk Brothers tracks. So it's the same music, but what they did with the Jackson 5, they used the Different Shades of Brown's background, and it was just Michael featuring the Different Shades of Brown. If you Google that up, it'll say featuring the Different Shades of Brown, Label Me Love by the Jackson 5, but it's really Michael Jackson and the Different Shades of Brown.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
Well,
You
I
could
will,
Google
I will Google it.
it. You could Google it. It's on there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one of the songs that that you did that I really like, and the song is so appropriate at this time, that when the hurt is put back on you.
Yeah, that was a good song.
I mean, that's a good song.
Yeah.
And your album, you all did an album.
Yes.
And how did that do?
That did all right.
Tell the truth, don't. As far as the publishing, it went. Matter of fact, it was real big over in across the water in Sweden.
Yes.
It was real. Matter of fact, I think it was up to #2 on the Sweden's chart, and I don't know how well. But Motown is a big conglomerate company, so you had to. There was a lot of politics played in the music business. So the record was out, the album was out, did pretty decent, did pretty well. It should have been done a lot better, but it is what it is. but the group did well. They did well on the road. They did well in the studios, and I thought we should have got a lot more, play than we did. But again, the record business is a cutthroat kind of business.
Yep.
So, that's all I can say right now, because I really don't know why it shouldn't have been out as far as it should have been out.
But one thing about the Different Shades of Brown, we as a group and as individual guys, we just love to sing. We didn't really sing for the money, or we didn't perform. We liked the money, but we would sing even if we didn't get paid.
Right.
Well, a lot of times we didn't get paid.
Wait just a minute. You think? Right. We didn't get paid. Right.
But it goes deeper in our hearts. It's coming from our hearts.
Yeah.
The first time we sung the Majolga, we got $250. Now y'all correct me.
See, that was total.
That was total $250.
Total.
And
Right.
then we had to divide it 10 different ways. And so you divide 250 10 different ways. That's $25. But here was the problem. The problem was that we would drink beer and we'd have a little something, and it was called a tab. We didn't know he was keeping tabs on us. So by the time it was time to get paid, instead we get 250, we got about $175, and we had to split it so many different ways. But the problem was we had to pay for the cleaning, we had to pay for the transportation, so we probably ended up with $2 or $3 each.
Right.
But we were really happy with just getting a little money. We didn't think that anybody was going to pay us for singing, but they did.
Gas money.
Yeah,
That took us
first
from Yellow Springs to Springfield.
Yeah, right on.
You know, tell me, in your career of this, in your musical journey, give me 3 highlights that each of you have experienced. I'd like to hear what your 3 highlights are. They all may not have the same highlights, but there were 3 different highlights. And I'm going to get back to you, Hershall, on how the album took off or vinyl, as the young people would say now,
vinyl.
took off in Sweden, but not in the United States.
Yeah.
I give you one highlight. we sang at Wittenberg University with the Delphonics.
Yeah.
And we did Delphonic songs, but when we do a song
program
that from that group, we wouldn't do it. But we also did the Moments at that time, Ray Goodman and Brown, but they was called the Moment. And Marvin and Nate, boy, they two tenors that, man, I take my hat off to them. And they did so good of a job. Some people that came to the show said, y'all did the Delphonic song, but we never did that.
Right, never did.
We never would do that. But they sang so good, they probably thought they was Delphonic song. but the Delphonics was on the backstage with Hershall, and they was looking at the show. And when Hershall told us that they was digging the show,
right.
and man, that really, it gives me goosebumps now to think about, somebody like who we looked up to, and that give us that kind of prompts, So that was a big highlight for me,
Wow.
A big highlight for me would probably, I had a lot of them, but would probably be one that really stands out, was we were in the recording studio at Hitsville, USA in Detroit, and we had been in there actually all night. We did some all-night sessions. We would go in like in the early evening hours, it may be 7, 8 o'clock, and we'd be in there literally all night. We would lay down the background first to a song, and then the lead would then put his part on it. So we had done that. I forget which song this was, but we'd put the background down, and I had gone to sleep on a sofa that was down in front of the mixing board.
I remember you.
And I woke up, and they were putting the lead down, and it was just about finished. And I came around and had to go up a few steps to get to the mixing board, and I sat down on a stool, and was just sitting there. I was just waking up, and this guy said, "Brother, y'all sound really good. I like your sound." He shook my hand, and I went, You're Marvin Gaye. and I said, I'm Marvin too.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember
wow.
that too.
Okay, Jimbo.
Well, yeah. I don't know. There's been.
I just, excuse me, I hate to interrupt, but Jimbo, you must have been the one who held this group together with your humor, dry humor.
Jimbo had some humor.
Always had that.
You just have a way of whatever's going on. I bet you could break the ice and make it all work. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimbo.
And he could fight too.
Jimbo, he'd always sing like this. He'd push the mic like this. Go ahead, Jimbo.
No, well, actually, that was before y'all went to Motown. Is that my highlights were singing at the Memorial Hall with the Dales and the OJs.
Yeah.
That was my highlight. That was when Hershall got them funny looking suits and carrying on. Them cloth suits. Remember that? Psychedelic.
Yep.
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 That was my highlight. And
Yeah, I remember that too.
and they they gave us compliments that we did sound good, even though we didn't do the Dale songs on stage, but we did the Dale songs.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
without
thought
doubt.
we did pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
Well, Jimbo, you alluded to these suits that Hershall got. What was special about these suits?
They wasn't special. They was just they were psychedelic. Remember that psychedelic area?
It was Paisley's.
Yeah, well there you go, Paisley suits again.
It was bell bottoms.
Tight.
Right on. But the bell bottoms had a tight fit in the thighs.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
But I do remember that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we did have we had a wonderful time though. I mean, it was just friendship and singing together, practicing and different things like that. That was beautiful. From the time that I was there to the time that I left.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
It speaks volumes of, what, 50 years you guys are still together, you're having a reunion, and you still have that same inner boy spirit that you probably had 50 years ago when you all got started. And it's good to see.
Wow.
Because you don't see that a lot with groups that sometimes when they go their different ways, there's a lot of animosity and things like that. But the camaraderie that you guys exhibit is real.
And that's 50 plus years.
50 plus.
You speak for yourself.
You know, Jimbo, I use this term thereabouts.
Yeah,
so it's 50 thereabouts.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, and Ron, what about you? What's your highlight?
I got two highlights. One is when I was singing at the 20 Grand, we were singing "What You See Is What You Get," and the dramatics was sitting right down front. And like Steve said, we were singing, and we would sing "What You See Is What You Get," and we'd always do a hook at the end, and we would introduce everybody. And then some years later, or some months later, the dramatics started doing the same thing we did. But they wrote me a note and said they really liked the way we sung their song, and they were sitting down front. That was a highlight for me, because I did the hardcore at the end.
Yeah.
And so when the guy, Ouija, sent me that little note, said, "Man, you sound good on my song. I really appreciate it." That was a highlight for me. The other highlight was when Clay McMurray called us and said, "Label Me Love," was released and was picking up traction. And that Barry Gordy said, "I want you guys to go out west," because Motown was splitting in half, and then they was moving from Detroit to Los Angeles. There was the Motown East, Motown West, and us and the Jackson were the two groups identified to go out west. And when I heard that Barry liked our song and we were going out west, that was a real moving moment for me, because that was the first time I said, I'm on a record label, I'm on Motown, Tamla, and they actually selling. Somebody's buying my music. So that was a highlight for me.
And you're a star.
No, I'm not. Hey, I'm a star.
Hershall?
I think there were several for me. One of them was the Different Shades of Brown's name was on the 100 Billboard. Billboard was a big thing back in the day. When you made Billboard, you made it.
Most likely.
Yeah. So we were, I can't even remember the number now, but I know the Dayton groups. We had Dayton groups that were, matter of fact, from 1 to 20, 10 of them were from Dayton. And then we were from Springfield. I think we were in the top 20 of Billboard. That was one of the highlights. The other highlights was all the, when we went into the studios with all the great groups that we knew. Those are always highlights, all of that. One other thing was funny. We went on a tour to Texas. We was in Houston, Texas. We was in Fort Worth
City.
On a bus.
Oh, that's right. Sure,
and
that's
a bus. So what we had to do, we had to leave. We had to get back to
Detroit.
to Dallas to catch a plane.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So they went on the bus, and I had to take all the instruments and all the bands with me on the road, just in the car. We left Houston. It was 80 degrees. We got to Dallas, it was 19, it was snowing. That was a big highlight.
Well, we had to go to Detroit.
Huh?
We had to record.
Yeah, we had to record. That's
We
right.
had
Y'all
to go
went
to
Detroit.
Detroit.
I went to Detroit. That's right on.
Yeah.
And I had to bring the stuff back. So that ride was a big. I'll never forget that ride. That was something else.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You know, I said I was going to come back to you, and I don't want to lose that thought when you were talking about your music and how it took off in Sweden, but it didn't take off here. How did that happen?
Well, that I don't know. All I know is that Nate Newsome called me and told me, he said, "Look at what I found on this Sweden." It was a Sweden broadcast or something. "Label Me Love," and the album was number 1, number 2. I can't remember which one it was, but it was awful big in Sweden, and I said, "Great." I said, "Why wasn't it big here in?" Because it was a great song. It was a great album, matter of fact, and So I don't know. Again, it's the politics. It's the politics of the music business. It's a lot bigger. Once you get into the music business, then you'll know what I'm saying. But right now, it's definitely politics.
I mean, did you guys receive any royalties, or do you?
No, Clay McMurray came to the church after I left the group in 1972. The Lord called me out, and I started the church. But what happened was, when I was one Sunday, Clay came, the producer, and told me that our record that Label Me Love was selling for $45 a pop over in Europe. He said, "But Ronnie, since you left, you don't get no royalties at all because I left." And that's another story I'll tell. I got sued. A whole lot of things happened, but. I didn't know that they didn't get no royalties. I thought that they got royalties. I left, so I knew I wasn't going to get no royalties. But I thought maybe they got some royalties. And if they did, and we're on the show, I want them to sort of give me a little something.
Give you a little piece back.
Yeah, a little something. Yeah.
You got change for a dollar?
You got change in your mind. That's exactly right.
I think if any royalty was done, I think it all went back to Motown. It went all back to Motown, because Motown had our contract, and some of the things I think there was recording costs, because you don't go in the studio without.
It wasn't free to go into the studio.
Right on. So I think since the bill, let me see, that's what I'm thinking, because I don't know, I haven't heard anything more about the royalties, but the royalties were probably split for Motown, and they got most of all the royalties.
One of the things that, tell me if you had to do it all over again, and I'm asking each one of you, what is the one thing that you've learned that you wish you knew then? And I'll start with you, Hershall.
I would think we should establish our own incorporation, and to make sure that all our royalties and kept better track of our bills. Let me say that. That's on me too.
Yeah, it was.
I would have started a better relationship with the company that we signed with, the record business. So that's where I think I would have started from.
Well, we didn't know.
No, I didn't.
We had no idea what it took when we went
when we first started.
When we started out.
Right on.
Well, see, my feelings, we were real young, and we had a choice to go to Stax or Motown,
right?
And so either one of them would be ideal for us,
right?
But we didn't know, so we was we just didn't know the business side of it. Right. And like I said earlier, we sing because we sing from our hearts.
Right,
we sung for the love of the music, not for the business side of it. And so if we had the chance to do it over again, we became business people,
we could have done a lot better. I guarantee we would.
I've been in business for myself for almost 50 years in the hair business, but we didn't know. So
we were young. 50 years ago,
Motown, where we signed at, if we had a choice to go to Stax or Motown, so we would have.
If I had to do it all over again, whether it's the gospel genre or the R&B, writing and producing is what I would have probably pursued a little bit more, because when we were in the studio, the creative juices start flowing and you get ideas and you want to do this, and that's where the real money is. The real money is when you write the song and produce it. That's where the bulk of the money goes. And so when we signed with Motown, they'll end up with 75, 80% of the money. The other 20% we had to cut 4 ways. And so I would have probably opted to say, let me in on the writing, let me in on the producing a little bit more. I would have.
And I'll just add one thing. When we did Label Me Love in 1972, came out in 1972, it was a 45. What we got from a 45 record was 5 cents. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We got 5 cents. But in the 2000, TLC, I think, got $1 and some change off a CD. the business hasn't changed, but as individuals we have changed.
Yeah.
You know, if we had to do it all over again, hindsight is always 20/20. So, but we was just in the musical side of it, not the business side.
Jimbo, what
I wouldn't have changed a thing. Of course, now I didn't sign with Motown, but I mean, as far as my experience with the group, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, we just enjoyed each other so much. The
Yeah,
time
it was fun.
It was. It was just enjoyable.
I feel you.
What about you, Marvin?
I think I would echo exactly what they're saying as far as, you know, being more business-minded about it, just understanding, you know, our power. We had more power than what we realized, and we didn't use that to leverage anything. You know, it was just all about getting with Motown. Right?
Yeah. We was young and starstruck.
Yeah.
And all they wanted to do was sing, and all I wanted to do was dance.
Yeah, all of a sudden we seeing the Spinners, David Ruffin.
That was
and
see, we got no commitment from Motown really to promote us, and that's where the rubber meets the road. You go, you do the songs, but then they have committees that they determine what they're going to put money behind, who they're going to, and then they've got established stars. So
that's right.
We've done nothing. So who do you think is going to get the money to promote their records that they want to release?
Do you remember the Spinners? The Spinners came up to us and said, "Be careful that you sign to Motown. They'll put you on the shelf." And for those 5 or 6 years,
that was always
the Spinners,
in the back of our.
before the Spinners met Tom Bell, before the Spinners really took off, the Spinners were actually a sideshow, and they were janitors at Motown because Motown wasn't producing them. So Purvis told us, you know, y'all be careful because they may get you and put you on the shelf like us. But Tom Bell from, I think, Atlantic Record picked them up.
Philly and National.
And they went straight up.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, they went hit after hit after hit. Prior to that, who are the Spinners?
Yeah.
And then they took off. And I think that in some regard, they would have done us that way. I wasn't there long enough when I left, but I thought that probably when I left, that's when you guys got hurt in terms of the royalties and what have you.
Yeah. See, we were the last group that signed with Motown in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
I believe we were.
Right.
We were the last group to sign with Motown before they moved to California. So we got caught on a sweep, you know. So we did go to California, but you know, as far as them doing anything with us, you know, it was kind of a low key.
Yeah.
But if you're a singer and you're singing a group, one of the things, it gets addictive. You really, you're on stage, and part of what I really enjoyed more than anything, to make people smile. And they come for the weekend, all week long, they're working real hard, and they're depressed, and we thought singing would lift their spirits up and make them feel better. And there's a rush you get from that, you know, just addictive. And now that I'm in church, the anointing, that when I sing to people and I feel the power of the Lord, the Spirit comes on me, and I can see people getting a breakthrough. I can see them smile. I can make their life better. For me, that's what singing is all about, trying to make people feel better.
That's the joy of entertaining. When you could feel somebody appreciating you, what you're doing. It's not about the money. But you make more money, personal appearances, than you do off of a record, unless your record sells millions. You know, if you go into that category, now you could make it money off the record.
Or
but
unless you wrote.
But wouldn't it be BMI, CSAC every quarter? They would give you so much money for playing your records on the air.
Right.
So you'd get money that way as well.
But you're making your living on personal appearances in the
personal
clubs and on the shows.
Yeah. The theme now for any group that's coming up is God bless the child who has his own. Believe me, because if you're recording, you're writing your own music, you're doing your own thing, you're going to make it. You can tell the groups that all these folks have made it. John Legend, Kanye, they did their own thing. They did their own thing, and that's how they they make it in life. This is Prince. You can tell all the artists that the groups that don't make it are the ones in the background, the sign, like us. We should have made it. We had enough talent. We had enough talent then to actually really record it and do well. But again, the politics. Again, you need to have something on your own. Just like Ron was saying, you need to write your own music. You need to record it. You need to go in the studio, pay your own way, do your own marketing. Everything should be incorporated with yourself. Then you're going to make it in the music business.
You know, one of the things that we have noticed, and we always have to give the little Richard credit for pushing
That's right.
to make sure that artists got recognized
Right.
to even begin to get what they deserve,
Right.
because companies took advantage of folks that they saw that were just like you, Steve.
Just
they were
singers.
happy just to be singing
Just
and to be
singers.
on the
We was
stage
just singers.
and weren't with the business. And as
And the
you
writing.
stated earlier, Ron, about the tab at the club, that the record company was keeping the tab also.
Yeah,
So
they
that
definitely.
at the
They was
end
keeping
of
the tab,
at the
right.
end of the time, you realize that wow, I don't. You know, I've worked hard, but I don't have nothing to show for it.
right.
So,
Yes.
and I think the beauty of the Funk Chronicles, and we're just so honored to have this reunion here. And the reason why I ask you to share those stories, because this is history. And the fact that other young folks out there who are looking at their music and how we're going, and that need to learn from the experiences of others. They don't have to repeat their
Right.
history. And many of our Ohio groups suffered from the same thing that
Yes.
Shades of Browns have,
Yes.
from the Ohio players, from
Yes.
Lakeside. And then what happens is that all of this comes together, and folks don't think, well, I'm going to be different. No, you're not going to be different. And when they see that you're eager to perform,
Right.
they take advantage of it.
Right. Right.
And that's
It's
why I
that,
want
that and knowing that you don't have the knowledge in order to do your financials and carrying on, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Young folks do not have any financial knowledge at all.
Right.
So they said, okay, well, we got one here, sound pretty good. It depends on how the record sells. We'll either push them or they don't push them.
I think with
Like a
social
shelfer.
media has changed all of that. From the time we were in there to where it is now.
Oh,
A lot of the young people that come through the church, the Jonathan Dunns that came through Grace, and people I know that came through the commission. We brought the commission, and we brought in all those singers, John P. Key, back in the
Bobby
day.
Jones,
Bobby Jones. We brought all those singers, and the way you market yourself today is completely different than it was in our time. So when we're looking at a social media, you push yourself. You have to be very careful. I'm always checking with the young people to find out how they're guarding their music, because if you sing and somebody's taping it, they could put it on YouTube or put it someplace where somebody else can pick it up. We used to do what is called the poor man copyright. You know, you take it and mail a letter to yourself and don't open it. And I think they're doing something similar, but in a different way. So I think music today, if you're trying to become known, is completely different than it was when we come along. We just love singing. To this day, I still enjoy singing. And I got the opportunity to sing for 50 years in church. So, I mean, to me, I really, really enjoy it. And we're still friends. And that's the whole thing. We have a story for me that's on my heart. The Lord called me out in June right after the Label Me Love came out, and it was getting traction, and it was the most heartbreaking thing for me, because my whole entire life was to be an entertainer. I didn't care about making money. I'm like Stevie. I love singing. I love singing with these guys. But I knew the Lord had called me, and my prayer was that one day God would show them that the Lord really did call me, because we're like brothers now. If anything ever happened, like Nate, he's back at the hotel. When we leave here, we're going to go straight back there and check on him to make sure he's okay.
Let's talk about Nate. Let's talk about Nate.
Well, all I can say is about Nate Newsome is that when we were singing when we were kids.
Get off my notes, Stevie.
Man. No. I couldn't sing that high. I couldn't sing that high. but Nate would always come and sing this song, Never Let You Go. My impression. Just let me love you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I would hate to see Nate Newsome coming, because he would blow the house around. He would blow the house up. You know?
First tenor, extraordinary.
And he could sky. I mean, he could sing to the roof. He could sing to the roof, man. And this guy can too.
Oh, and Marvin, yeah, Marvin.
And so we had a group that with two super first tenors, and me and Marvin, and me and Jimbo, me and Ronald would come in and sing that bottom part. Yeah. But Jimbo could sing high too.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to mention, as time goes, before we run out of time, Nate Alexander, he came in and took Ronald's place. After Ronald left the group, we had to have a replacement. Ronald was a big loss. So we had to find a replacement for Ronald. And Nate Alexander did that he did it real well. Nate is an outstanding singer. And too bad he's not with us today. I don't know where Nate's at, matter of fact. Can't hardly get a hold of him. But anyway, he was one of the main reasons why the group kept going. And we miss Ronald a lot. He was the backbone.
Ronald was the entertainer of the group.
Yes. Yeah, he was a moonwalker. He was a moonwalker before he was a moonwalker.
He was what? What was you saying?
I said he was a moonwalker before there was a moonwalk.
He was the energy.
Energy.
I thought Stevie brought some energy too.
Of course, but
a lot of energy.
Ronald, come on.
What y'all doing?
Energy on steroids.
Ronald did it with ease. And he brought the light. He brought the sunlight.
Yeah, but you all kept going, and
we kept going.
And you were getting ready to tell us, Ron, that once you left, what happened? Besides Nate taking your place, what happened
to me?
You were talking about you were sued, and
Barry Gordy sent me a bill and told me I could not leave the group. I owed him 6 more years. And so that was really confliction with me. And the group wanted me to stay. And I remember them coming to my house on Allison. And please, we won't get into the story. We laugh about it today. Scared me to death. I said, well, you going to sing. Well, they came by. And I really want to say, I gave them 30 days. Remember I kept saying, I'll sing 30 more days.
Right.
But see, Barry Gordy sued me. And my predicament was in Springfield and Dayton, when somebody made it to Motown, that was big. That was really big. And so when I left, I got hate mail. People come to my house and literally cuss me out. What are you doing to them? And then 2 weeks after I left the group and the Lord called me, my house got torn down. The landlord wanted to build something, and so he put me out. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost everything that I owned. And I remember taking the suits down to Stevie with tears in my eyes. The confliction was, I knew that God had called me. I knew it was him. And that was a powerful, powerful statement for me, because they know that I gave blood, sweat, and tears for this group. And it had to be. And so my prayer was, Lord, please show Marvin, Stevie, and Nate. Tell them, show them that it's you. Because I know it's hard for them to believe. And here it is 50 years later, and I was able to start with 2 people. I got 22 acres of land. We started the church, and maybe 2,000 people have come through the doors. We are baptizing people. We're changing lives. And we're still friends to this day. And so that was really tough for me. But I love these guys. They are my brother. My natural brother is gone, but these guys are like my brother. Anything happen to them, I'll catch a plane like that, and I'll be there, because we're that close. Yeah. They didn't help me. The world did. I mean, the people in the street, the community. You've lost your mind. But I think God has shown that he was with me.
Well, we in order to do anything, we have to be led by the Spirit. And we have to answer and live with that Spirit, because you don't want to be wrestling with the devil.
And I think we understood that. We didn't really understand it maybe at that time, but as time goes on, you know, it's clearly what he was doing was the spirit that, and we all can appreciate that and love him the same way, you know.
Thank you, Stevie.
That's all.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
do.
Follow this calling. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's all that is.
But Ryan, one of the things that I felt, and I still feel, that the Lord set all of us up, because I think what we learned out of this, when Clay McMurray passed away, the Motown family was there. The Motown family still remembered us. They still loved us, and we got a chance to tell them. We may not have sold a million-seller record, but what we did, we learned commitment, we learned faithfulness, and a lot of times people look at groups in the streets in the world and they think that all we do is drugs and all we do is alcohol. That's the label back in the 60s, 70s, 80s that they put on groups. But we were more than that. Stevie has his own business. Marvin is a manager. He's still working to this day. Nate became a teacher. I retired from Wright-Patterson buying aircraft and became a pastor. Hershall retired. All of us became something. Retired? Yeah, Hershall did. Yeah, he worked a little bit longer than he should have, but he retired.
Yeah, right. I get talked about, but that's all right. That's all right. It is what it is.
I think he's the oldest one in the group, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Kind of.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Oh, thereabouts.
Ain't no thereabout to it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he is the oldest. What, you around about 80, 81?
No. I'm 78. I'm 78 years old. So.
And proud of it.
Yep, hold it. If I put my feet on the ground every morning, I'm really proud of it.
That's right, we all do.
Yep, you got that right.
But you know, also it's interesting to note that you all went on with your own lives and developed your own careers, and here you are, 50 thereabout years later, coming together. And how does that feel? Let me start with you, Hershall. How does that feel?
Feels great. I just the memories of
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's
it
tough
is.
to really put it into words, because
Yeah,
they're
it's
my
tough.
brothers. Something happened to them, I'd cry like it was, I lost my twin brother some years ago. I would cry like I did at the loss of my twin brothers if anything happened to any of them, because when Nate came, Nate was supposed to be here, but Nate got sick and we all froze there because we just, we got to do something. Nate is sick. So all of us together said, Nate, don't come. You take your medicine, you stay in the room, we'll come back and we'll pray, we'll come back and we'll talk with you. But don't come and get sicker, because we're all like brothers.
Yeah. Well, it was a big part of my life, huge part of my life. So you can't dismiss it.
All right.
So just to know that they're still around, that we can actually communicate with one another, it's a big thing.
It is.
Jimbo?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
What?
You.
I tell you,
Jimbo said.
he got that.
He hasn't changed. I'm telling you.
Jimbo, the question was, what does it mean after all these years for the group to be reunionizing and you to be here?
You see, I've been reunionizing all this time because I get a lot of messages from Stevie on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I keep up with June on Facebook.
Keep him up.
Ron calls me every now and then, and I know where Hershall is over there dancing, line dancing and ballroom dancing. I have people coming in, saying, Hershall's okay, he's doing all right, he's good. So I kind of keep up with them, even though I don't see them.
Right.
But this is special. I mean, you all are here in flesh.
Well, yes, that's it. Well, it is special. It really is. I mean, because how many people that we know that have passed away that are our age or younger?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So with us, I think we're just lucky.
Yeah, we are.
We're lucky. We got
I think you're blessed.
Yeah,
right.
we are blessed.
Yeah.
We got the blessing right here.
Oh no, you. No, everybody that played the band, they're dead. All the
It's special.
No,
It's
not
special
everybody.
Just to, be able
Who
to
ain't here?
communion with everybody.
Mike Webster.
Oh, I said Mike's still around. That's right.
Yeah, Mike's still there.
Yeah.
Like Ronald said,
Marvin Craig is still around.
we're all like brothers. I mean, we lived together for so long, being out there on the road, and we depended on each other so much, and we still do. We still do. Stevie calls me, and we talk for hours. I mean, I'm literally hours on the phone.
Time gets away.
Time gets away. But this reunion, it's special. What is it? Is this the third time that you put on?
This is the third time we put on Motown, the gospel, and
Yeah.
I tried to coordinate with all of them to get them here. And so today, what I was going to do is ask for a copy of this. I want my children, my grandchildren. I even got a great granddaughter now, and I want them to see and hear all you guys. And I just hope we can capture.
That's the other thing that makes it special. See, my kids and my grandkids are going to be here tomorrow.
Oh,
They've
wonderful.
never seen it. They never really experienced it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that makes it special as well. A lot of friends.
Yeah, you're kind of old too. ain't you?
Yeah, well, not as old as you.
Stevie, how you feel?
Well, about the same thing as everybody said, and I could feel Hershall, because it's heartfelt for me.
Yeah.
It's heartfelt,
feel
and I they know I'm the one that keep that thing that them old songs. I'm a YouTuber, and I keep it going, and I will send it to everybody, and they can't help but like it. I know it puts a smile
3 or
on their
4 times
face.
a week. Hey, my phone goes off. I'm in the bed. Hey,
Stevie.
My wife says, the phone's going off. I said, Stevie.
Hey, Stevie, tell them about the time you sang for your wife and you got about 2 million hits or something.
I got 2.5 million views.
What did you sing?
Well, Al Green came to Atlanta, Georgia. Al Green, my wife's birthday is on the 2nd of May. Al Green had a comeback thing. He was this was a couple years ago, 2019, and it was on the 3rd of May. And my wife's birthday is on the 2nd of May. So I told her, this is going to be your birthday present. I really wanted to go see Al Green. But I told, I should have said that. But, but when I went through the door to pick her up, my daughter was on top of the stairs. And she said, Daddy, wait right there. And so she played Let's Stay Together. So my wife had this white dress. And so she was going to show me the white dress that she got for going to the concert. And my daughter started playing Let's Stay Together. And I started singing.
And let me hear it.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want me to is all right with Steve. 'Cause you make me feel. But anyway, it sold.
2 million hits.
Ran out of breath.
I mean,
While
it
he's
didn't sell.
singing, she's coming down the steps. This
Yeah, she's coming down the stairs, and my wife put it on Instagram. I don't know what Instagram. I know YouTube, but it 2.5 million views.
hits.
And that was a big thing for me, because doing the singing with the different shades of brown, I don't think I had 2 million views. But I waited until I got old.
We didn't have the media at the time. What was the things on Facebook?
Yeah.
We'd have been a big hit if we didn't have Facebook back then. Oh, Lord.
But if you Google former Motown artist serenades his wife, it'll come up. That's me serenading to my wife.
Yeah, that's great, brother.
Marvin, do you have a special song you want to give me a few bars?
Oh. Do I have a special song?
Yeah, you got a
Oh,
lot
do
of
I
special-
have a special song?
You got a lot of them.
Man.
Well, maybe that's the name of it. Do I have a special?
Do I have a special song?
Maybe that's an opportunity to write a song.
That could be.
Sing Ooh Baby
That could be
Baby.
the.
Sing Ooh Baby Baby. I
Put
know
the
you.
hurt back on me.
I did you.
I did you wrong.
Yes, it.
My heart went out to play.
Sing it, Marvin.
But in the game, I lost you. What a price to pay. Hey, I'm crying. Ooh,
Baby, baby.
Sing it, Jimbo.
Baby, baby.
Yeah, brother.
thank you, Jim.
Marvin, thank you. Now, Jimbo, I know I'm going to have to skip over you because I know you just ran out of breath.
Yeah, I did.
Come on.
Boy, that was rough.
Sitting there the whole time.
I mean, we got a 50 thereabout reunion here going. So, Ron, what is yours?
There was a guy who had a heart problem, and before he died, he had 2 months to live, and he wrote a song. And I sing it quite a bit at the church, and it's been part of who I am. And the song sort of goes, all I need to know that you love me. Hey, all I need to know is that you care. All I need to hear in the time of my struggle, Jesus, that you were really, that you were really, that you were really, really there.
Yeah.
And that was a song because he died of a heart condition. We prayed and prayed, but the Lord took him home.
Ron,
And
I
so
don't think that's a
captured that
good song to have sang when we
Yeah.
just witnessed Jimbo over here getting it. I don't know how encouraging that was.
Hey, but Jimbo sung the first 14. We sung our first 16 songs. He sung 14 of them.
He sung every song. Jimbo used to lean on the microphone. You remember?
Yeah, like he leaned like this and sing the whole time.
I'm telling you, that's right. Hey, he had his own style. Right on. Right on.
But he sung all the Dale songs.
I'm ready. Oh, I'm really excited for a Dale song. Okay, Jimbo, I'm ready.
Did I just tell you I lost
Well, Ron will help you. Yeah. And Stevie will chime in, and so will Marvin.
Stay in my corner. You know that one?
Well, that's when I hit that long high note.
Yeah, that sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of breath.
No,
That's a lot of breath.
we wouldn't ask you to do that one.
No.
That's kind of tough.
Oh, what a night.
I tell you, but
Help him, Stevie.
I got one for him because
Okay.
he did this song, and I don't know if he knew all the verses, but Billy Stewart, "Sitting in the Park." Remember that, Ronald?
Yeah.
That's right on.
Remember
right
that
on.
one?
That's right. Billy Stewart's.
Do you remember singing that
I
one?
didn't know none of the words. What are you talking about?
You sang it, but you didn't know none of the words.
He got through it right on.
got through it.
Right on.
Waiting for
You. Well, yeah. Well, somewhere around there. What is that?
Somewhere around there.
Sitting in the park, waiting for you.
Yes.
I'm sitting right here, waiting for you, my dear.
Breathe.
Wondering if you were.
Gonna show
Thank you.
up.
Thank you, Marv.
I don't know you're gonna show.
Sing it, Marvin.
Go ahead, Marv.
Go on, Jim.
I told you I didn't know the words. It was just something that came out that we start to sing so we could get our voices where they were supposed to be.
Oh, that's right. Sure.
That's what that was.
You know, guys, I'm gonna. This has just been so entertaining, and one of the things I'm going to ask you is, before we end this, I'm going to have one more song from you guys, so y'all got to figure it out. And but I want to know, why do you think it's important for us to push to have a Funk Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center? What does the funk mean to you? Why is this so important? And I'm going to start with you, Jimbo.
Well, I'm going to tell you, to me, it's letting our youth that's around here understand and realize is that they can do more with the group together, just getting together, singing and things like that. And instead of going into the streets and doing all the things out there, you could come and you say, okay, well, let's get together, let's sing, because there's a lot of talent out there from these young folks. And it's just going to waste because they going different ways. And that's sad to me. It really is.
Marvin?
I think, yeah, it's history, and it's a positive arm of history that has been in Ohio even before Different Shades of Brown, and I think that needs to be documented. It needs to be put in a place that people can look back on it and see it and be inspired by it and be challenged by it. It can be there as a goal for people to reach for. But I think it is very important to establish having that history.
It is, it is because I'm trying to think, who was that? John Duncan and
Roger.
And the
Lloyd.
groups that they had
Lloyd
back then.
Yeah.
We would watch them on stage performing and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of got our idea. Okay, well, we can mess around here and sing. So let's get a group together, and it inspires
Motivated.
Yes, it is motivating.
It's motivated, and like Greg Parsley.
Yep.
He, I send songs to Greg, and I sent some OJ songs to him. That OJ's was making records, man, that everybody didn't go nationwide. They didn't. A lot of them songs did, like our songs did. They didn't go nationwide, but us being from Ohio, but they was real good. But Greg had an idea, getting some young guys singing on that style, like what we was singing in today's time, and that's the funk to us, and bringing that back, and then it wouldn't be so much crime, that it is today, because we didn't see that. We didn't grow up with that.
A lot, yeah.
Right.
We
a lot
didn't.
of talent shows.
And we would have, like Nate Alexander. He had a group called the Typicals, and when they came to Springfield, because Springfield had some singers, boy, we like what we've been saying, and they always had singers, and Nate and them was real good.
Yeah, they were.
But we were just as good, and we've been singing just as long as they have. But they was a little bit older than us too.
Yeah.
But Nate was real good, and that kind of talent, man, we invited that.
You don't want to lose that.
Ron,
we invited that.
your question was, why is it important for us
for the
funk
Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center, as well as what does the funk mean to you?
Yeah, what is happening in the history and everything, and you listen to different sounds when you're growing up. So it's an evolution that you need, because if it wasn't for the history then you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the sounds. You wouldn't try to imitate the sound. You wouldn't try to be better than the sound that you hear. For example, John Stevens, well now John Legend, learned a lot of that in Springfield, Ohio, because he was raised around this music that he heard from the different shades of brown, from John Duncan, from Jimmy Foster, from Johnny Lido, to all these groups. It was in his ear. He may not have paid a lot of attention to it, but it's like anything else, like osmosis. It's going to get on you. You're going to get it contaminated, whether you like it or not. So that music needs to be put someplace where someone can hear that music and evolve and get better, because the music has gotten better. I like old music, don't get me wrong. I like old music. It's nostalgia, it brings you back. But the new music is outstanding, because the new music is the arm, or that evolution I'm talking about, of what they've already heard. So they just expand on it. If it wasn't there, there's no expansion. There's no expansion. They don't know where to go. They don't know the different keys that they need to play, or the sound that they need to hear, because the sound wasn't there. So it is important always to put music, documented music, into some place where it can be heard and learned from. So that's why it's important.
I think a lot of music came out of the church.
Of course
John
it did.
Legend was in the church. A lot of blues, a lot of R&B, a lot of soul came from the church. And I think for me, why is it important? Because I think in the 60s and 70s, it was a renaissance time. I think it was very creative, and there's the foundation. There was a lot of songs that they wouldn't even play on the radio when we were coming along. You wouldn't hear the Delphonics, you wouldn't hear the Dells. You'd have to listen to Randy way down in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You never got a chance to listen to that music. And now I see it on television, on YouTube, on commercials. They're playing those songs that we love so much. They're now on commercials, but the culture would not play those songs. The radio station, the television wouldn't say. When the Temptations and the Supremes got on that Ed Sullivan show, that was a big thing. And see, I'm saying that now, and most of the people that probably, well, I hope, a lot of the people that are watching this may be young and don't know that when the Supremes or the Temptations came on to Ed Sullivan, everybody's dropped what you was doing. Everybody was glued around that television. Guess what? The Temptations gonna be on Ed Sullivan show.
Yeah.
We stopped what we were doing to listen, because that was groundbreaking music, and it's still good. You can play My Girl today and people still listen.
Right.
I got in the church and they wanted me to sing My God rather than My Girl, just change the word. They liked it that well. So I think that in the 60s and 70s, it was groundbreaking Renaissance music that other people built off. I agree with Hershall. I think the music is phenomenal today. You got some singers that just say, wow, they got some phenomenal voices, but I think the foundation is in the 60s and 70s, the funk and R&B. That's right. Just my opinion.
Okay, but now getting back to your question as to why we're here on your show, is that you can kind of spread it out over the wires and reach more people than we can. Because we can only sit around like we're doing now and talk, but you can reach a much larger audience, and that may help them decide if they want to go one way or the other. And this is appreciated. It really is.
You are appreciated.
I could add, and you said that, like the funk. See, when I started singing as a kid, we just liked to sing because we had a appreciation for singing. You know, like you, your daddy, you know, and we grew up around it. But the funk is like on the one. And I didn't get into music theory until later on, after I became grown. And on the one is like a James Brown kind of thing. Bop, doom, bop, boom, bop, 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 doom, boom, bop, boom, bop, bop. Okay. I came up on a jazz listening family. My family was listened to jazz. So as a kid, I didn't go to church. Well, Baptist church. And so my family was jazz. It's the same thing. It's on the one. ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. That's Miles Davis. And Miles, if you could relate to Miles Davis being a funk, what you call funk, and James Brown, it's the same thing. Da 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 bump 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 bump. Okay, Miles did this. Bop a da ba da ba bop ba da a bop a da ba da ba da ba da. That's the funk. That's the funk. That's what I call the funk.
You know, gentlemen, this has been such a pleasure to be with you. And I just gotta ask one more song, and then I'll let you go, because this has been so good. I don't know, In the Still of the Night or something like that, but we wish Nate Newsome.
I always like to be on my P's and Q's. I don't want to have to miss something nice I can do for you. I know you love me.
I know you love me
the way I am. But I can do more if I can, if you can.
I know one that because as we stroll along
you know how
together.
How long ago? When was that made? Holding hands, walking all alone. So in love are we two that we don't know what to do. So in love, so much in love, just you and I, so much in love. Now, Ryan, that goes back to 1959, 1960. That is 60-some years ago we sung that song. 60-some years.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about the Shades of Brown. They have definitely entertained us. And I guess I look like I'm trying to entertain you too.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank you so much. And this is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles. Until the next time, keep it funky, funky, funky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come close to me, babe. Karen. Karen. What's your choice? What's your choice? What's your choice?
The love that made me strong has died. That melody burn of mine.
I got sunshine on a sunny day, ba, 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 and when it's cold. Oh, we're gonna switch a little bit. Come on, Jimbo.
No, that ain't gonna work.
I thought you was doing a different step, but you was stumbling.
Yeah, I was.
I thought he put something fancy in there, but he was stumbling.
Well, normally we if you say do a step, we normally have music that will do something by.
Let me see. I don't know if it's
Play
Give
something.
a little hum to the step. Give a little hum.
All right, Marvin, what do you want me to? Because we'll have Jimbo, matter of fact, we'll have you holding the mic.
Ready, Bill?
What song? What song?
Let's bring up something. It don't matter.
That's mine.
Okay. Put it right here.
Trying to think
Oh,
of
was
one.
it in the way? I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Hey, Scotty, what was a good song we can put up here? You can, like you teach us, why you show us like you know, when we come,
See, like you used to.
like you used to when you come to the house, and you teach us some songs. Dances. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of a song we can put on, something that's upbeat.
You go your way and I'll go.
Ooh, on cloud nine, you can be. I'll put that one up. I'm just thinking of something. Cloud nine. Let's see.
You still playing table tennis? Hersh?
I ain't playing in a long time, man, but I think I still have a little skills.
A little skills?
Yeah, a little skills.
Oh, okay.
As
Long as you ain't got to go back.
No, I can play.
Yeah, you can play.
I can do that.
Kelly.
Yeah, I on the cruise. I've been on 8 cruises. 4 of them, I won the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I won the ping pong tournament. I said, yeah, that's too fast. That's too much. I want the rest. Where you at, Scotty? 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Let's put it somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step. Step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step. Step. No, not behind you, in front of you. 1, 2. Now, then step. But it start in front. And then behind and step up. What? He said, yeah, he teaches us line dance. He teaches us line.
You can line dance, can't you, Steve?
Yeah, I can line it all right.
That's right. That's all we need to do.
On cloud nine, you can be. Boom, 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 doo, 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 doo.
No.
How about that?
That's the old one.
Yeah, man ain't got to move.
Now, who sung Cloud Nine? Who sung Cloud Nine?
Who sang it? Oh, for us?
Yeah.
Did we sing Cloud
Cloud
Nine? No, I don't think. I don't
No,
remember
you
Cloud
sang
Nine.
No.
I don't remember singing Cloud Nine.
No.
Psychedelic Jazz?
Cloud 9 wasn't out then.
Psychedelic.
Yes, it was.
Was it? It was.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was. But
What we get ready to do anyway? We get ready to do a temptation or something?
Oh, no, I just thought you was going to show us some dance steps.
All right.
I just,
No, so what are y'all gonna say? Oh, we gonna sing everything, we just gonna put the
we
music
just
on
put
and
the
do it?
music, yeah.
Do the step, that's all?
Yeah, we just.
Make it a little slower, homeboy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's rolling now.
Yeah.
That's,
Make it.
One more time, one more coming, I know it is.
Not that, wait a minute. Wait a minute, hold it. That's way too slow. Wait a minute, I get where
What was that?
All them steps, that's what I said.
I'm just trying to get something in the era of the 60s. Something that came out in the 60s. and the
1,
70s.
2, 3, 4, step, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, step, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, step.
June, see, even June, the youngest one, that's how you get that stuff on
Well,
cassette.
yeah, I just got it.
Wait, it's front, step, back, step, step, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, step, step. 1, 2, 3.
get it on here, Jimbo.
Yeah, they got it, see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, they got it.
I can't even
We ain't got one.
You can do that. I came there. At my phone.
You can do that.
I can't even line that last
You have like,
I like it. Come on.
Put it simple.
Come on, do it again.
My girl, my girl.
Come on, Scotty. All right, let's do it again. Are you ready? We just rehearsed some music. Come on.
I gotta hear some music. In the tree.
I guess you say, what can make me feel this way, my girl?